Morning everyone, welcome to the Wednesday class. It's great to be back in the Shiatsu Centre. Got the sun shining through the window and got Basti here all the way from North Norfolk doing the chat. Thank you very much, Basti. And yeah, let's get straight on. Just say hi in the chat. And Sophie's the first one to post, then Maggie, Anya, Grace, Simonetta's back. Great to see you all back for the Wednesday class. Okay, so we're going to revisit a couple of things that we haven't checked in with you for a while, and that is and I'm just going to go through that. We're going to check our breathing and we're going to check our grounding. Like, are we kind of like really rooted to the ground, or are we kind of floating up? Okay, because realize we haven't checked that for a while. But let's just find out just kind of how you're doing first of all. I'm going to run the how are you coping poll. Let's just find out how stressed you are. I'm going to run this how stressed you are poll just while everyone's joining us. So how do you feel about your energy at the moment? Do you think you're coping well? You're okay, neutral, or stressed, or very stressed? Okay, we're not doing too bad, are we? We've got over half of you feeling okay or coping well, but we're going to make sure we focus on those of you who are feeling stressed or very stressed today. And we're going to be working on regulating the breathing. Got point of the week coming up as well on our journey down the stomach channel. We started that last week with stomach 1, if you remember, if you were here. So yeah, looking forward to that. It's another one of my favorite points. So let's do the scanning first of all. And I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and run some polls just to find out where you are with your grounding and your breathing. Okay, so first of all, let's just stand up, or you can sit down if you want to. Okay, and we're going to check first of all how our breathing is. Okay, and I'm going to run a poll straight after this, so watch out for it. But we're just going to stand normally and comfortably. Okay, and without focusing in or doing anything special or using your intention, just want to get everyone in the group just to take a deep breath in. Without doing it very much at all, and breathing out. Okay, without controlling it, just let it come in. Okay, we're just going to do 3 breaths. Okay, now I'd like you to notice where your breath went. How far did it go down your body? Because we're going to be working on that today. We're going to be using the stomach channel. I've got a poll for that, which is where did your breath go to? Okay, so when you breathe in, where does the lowest part of your breath go? And I'm going to share that poll. Did your lowest part become in your upper lungs, your lungs, or did you feel it in the upper abdomen, or right down in the lower abdomen? So if you just like to check in on that. And I'm going to make some notes myself. I'm going to draw a little bit of a drawing as I wait for the results to come in. That's great, thank you very much. Anyone else want to vote? Just a little picture of my own breath, because I'm going to be interested, we're all, I guess, all interested to know how our breathing changes by the end of the session. Okay, so look at that. We've got pretty good, actually, pretty good. Now, if you remember when we first did this, maybe I think it was about a year ago now, most people had the breath going mainly to the upper lungs and some into the lungs, and we had almost no connection with the abdomen, that feeling of the breath going down to the abdomen. So look what we've done over all this time. We've definitely got more of you feeling your breath going lower, which is a really important part of Qi Gong and Shiatsu and all that stuff. So that's really, really good. And for those of you who are still finding your breath up high, let's do something about that this session. Okay, so the other thing I'd like to work on, so we've got the breath, is whether we're feeling kind of grounded, whether we're feeling or whether we're floating up. So let's check in and see how we're doing. Again, you can do this sitting down if you like, but it works really best if you're standing up. Now, according to yin and yang and Qi Gong practice, the ideal feeling that we have in our body is a balance between weight and heaviness going into the earth and a kind of light feeling going up into the heavens. And it's that balance of yin and yang that we're working with all the time. Now, of course, in reality, very few of us maintain that amazing balance between yin and yang. So let's just check in and see where we are at the moment. So I'd like you to just stand comfortably and just feel your alignment in your body and just observe how you feel connected to the earth. Do you feel pretty much balanced between heaven and earth? In other words, do you feel kind of balanced between a feeling of being raised up and sinking down? Or do you feel kind of heavy, kind of disconnected from the heavens, kind of like this? Or do you feel more like you're kind of floating up like this and you haven't got much grounding? Okay, so I'd like you to just tune in, find out where you are with that. I'm just trying to find out myself here. Okay, I think I've got it. And I'm going to make a little note there where I run the next poll, which is to do with your energy being up, down, or to right, or about right. Okay, so here are the options. Very too much and ungrounded, like this, woohoo, top, a little bit too up, about balanced, too down and heavy, and very much too down. And we'll just find out how we are doing as a group. And I'm just going to do a quick drawing myself on my own notes just to remind myself in the corner of my drawings here that we're going to do the whole body scan. Okay, well look, this is very interesting because when we did this about 6 months ago, I think it was quite a few while ago now we did this exercise, we got pretty much a completely perfect distribution between those of you that felt too grounded or too up. But look what's happened, we've actually got quite a big majority of feeling a little bit heavy and a little bit stuck. Now, if you combine that with the breathing, not going all the way down into the lower dantian, you're going to have a pattern that's going to cause you to feel kind of stressed in your body. So let's work today on getting that really nice poise between heaven and earth and get the breathing nice and easily moving down into the lower dantian. And then we're all going to have a great week, okay? So thank you very much for that. What we're going to do now, judging by those results, is just give you a few hints on how to connect more up with the heavens. Okay, excellent. Okay, we've got a few more minutes now. We're going to do a whole body scan, as we always do, and a 3 burner. So why don't we, just for change, why don't we combine the whole body scan with a 3 burner scan? We'll do it all in one go today, and we'll draw it on as a big picture here of the whole body with the 3 burners incorporated in it. All right, so let's go. So we're going to stand nice and relaxed. And we're going to scan down from our head all the way down through the body. And when we get to the burners, we'll check the burners out as we go. And then we can draw one picture of just the burners and the whole body, so we've got that in context, okay? Sounds a little bit different from what we've done before, but let's go. So I'm going to bring my attention now just above my head. I'm scanning down, checking how my head feels. And that's what we're all doing together. So we're going through our head, down into the jaw, checking out our eyes, nose, ears, mouth, and throat. Okay, just notice if you've got any obstructions there or any feeling of blockages or anything around that area there. Then we're going to go down, we're going to just check out the shoulders and the arms. Oh, okay, good. And now let's go for the upper burner. So we're just going to tune into the lungs and the heart area, see what that feels like. Okay, you got that? And then we're going to tune into the middle burner, which is this area below the diaphragm and above the navel. See what that feels like. Okay, and then we go down into the lower abdomen, the lower burner, which is down here below the navel, and down into the pelvic floor and through into the sacrum. Okay, so just check that out. Okay, excellent. Now let's just compare those 3 burners, just see which one is kind of shouting the loudest to us. Got that? And then we're going to check out the hips, knees, ankles, and feet. Okay, got it? Okay, so now let's just do a quick drawing and I'll run the poll about the burners and we can maybe connect that with the other information we've got about feeling too heavy and the breath not going down. So I'm going to do a picture here and put the 3 burners in like this and draw my whole body scanning like this. There you go. So let's draw it in. Okay, excellent. You got it? You got your whole body stand? It's great, excellent. It's time to go. Let's just find out as a group how we're doing in terms of the burners. Which of the 3 burners would you like to work on most today? Okay, I'm going to share that poll now. Let's see what we've got. Okay, we have got a pattern of the upper burner edging ahead here. It's pretty much, but in fact, the lower burner has actually come in a little bit more strongly than it was last week. I remember last week we had a very strong vote for the upper burner there. So that's very interesting. It's now upper and the lower burner that are taking over from the middle burner. So we better do some extra work on that, and we can see if we can get that switched out. Okay, so we've got an exciting hour ahead of us. We're going to try and get that breathing lower. We're going to try and balance the yin and yang, and along the way, we're going to check out point of the week, one of my favorite points. Okay, so let's see if we can focus the work we do together today on really de-stressing ourselves by connecting with the earth and the heavens, and also regulating the breathing. Okay, so first of all, let's just start off by releasing any tension in our body by using the shaking method. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with micro shaking today. So this is a really good technique to really get deep into your own body. And we're going to go down, we're going to go through the body. We're going to start off with micro shaking, very, very small movements. And then we're just going to get them a little bit bigger and release. Okay, so standing feet shoulder width apart, releasing the joints in the body, opening the jaw. Okay, so now we're just going to start off with very, very small shaking through the whole body. So what I'm doing is I'm imagining this cord or golden thread coming up from the top of my head, and I'm just going to shake that so small you can hardly feel it, and let those micro shakes go through your body and resonate, tune in with any areas that need releasing. Okay, so just going to let it go, just keep that shaking going. Feel it going down into the jaw. Very, very small shaking, but keep it nice and regular, and then release it. And then down into the throat, into the shoulders. Get that egg under the armpit. And then we go down to the elbows, the wrists and the fingertips. And then we're relaxing the sternum and the thoracic. And then we're going to go right through, down into the diaphragm, keeping that shaking going, down into the abdomen, down into the lower abdomen and down into the hips. Okay, again, keeping them pretty small. And now we're going to just, once we've got the shaking through the whole body, into the knees and the ankles, we're going to start increasing the amplitude, the strength of the shaking. So we're just going to maybe put some sounds in. And let's just increase the shaking now until we can feel it through the whole body. And we're going to target it into any areas that we really need to have the shaking happen. So if there are any particular areas you need to shake, put that shaking right into those areas. Get that jaw really released. Okay, and just get the legs shaking out as well. That's it, and now we're going to get calming the shaking down, calming it down. Until it's back to the micro shaking again, really, really small movements. Okay, and then we go into stillness, and we're going to just kind of lean forward. We're just going to shake out any tension that we've released in the head and the neck. So I want you to imagine these channels here that run down the neck, all the way down the arm. We're going to shake the tension out. Okay, excellent. Okay, so now let's just check in and see how we're feeling in terms of connection with heaven and earth. Okay, now just check in. Remember how you felt before. We're going to release the base of the cranium. We're going to float the head up. Okay, now if you were one of those who voted for feeling a little bit too heavy and you now feel a lot better, that's probably because you've got obstruction in the yang channels in the head and neck, and even maybe in the arms and shoulders, because obstruction in the upper body, in the yang channels, can kind of cut us off for that feeling of connection. It's called losing your sky hook. This is the idea that there's kind of a sky hook that gives us lightness in the body. Okay, so just as we do the exercise, you can kind of we can find out about what it is that really benefits us. Okay, good. So we've loosened up the yang channels. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit lighter in the head and everything. So now let's go right down to the other end and start working on stabilizing the lower and the lower, middle and upper burners. Okay, now we need to root our energy down here in order to get the breathing down as low as possible. So let's just rub our hands together. Just shake our legs out here, and we're going to open up kidney 1 in the feet and connect that kidney 1 right down into the earth. Okay, and we're going to start training ourselves here to get that breath right down into the lower dantian. This is probably the single easiest way that we can kind of like monitor and also help ourselves when we start getting stressed, because the breathing is the first thing that tends to go. We go into this like stress breathing pattern, the breathing going higher and higher, which makes us feel kind of panicky and everything. So let's just bring the breath down into the lower dantian. We're going to place our hands over the lower, just below the navel. That's like 1.5 inches below the navel. And we're going to really center our whole energy there. And what that means is relaxing the upper body as much as possible, floating the head up, opening the shoulders, relaxing the chest, relaxing the diaphragm, opening up the hips and connecting down into the earth. Okay, doesn't that feel great? Okay, so now it should be easier to get our breath down into the lower dantian. So let's try it. I'm going to breathe in. We're going to aim to get the breath down into here. We're going to hold the breath, contain it in the lower abdomen here, and breathe out through your mouth. Okay, got it? Let's do 2 more, breathing in. Okay, breathing out. Okay, and 1 more. Okay, several things could happen. Maybe you feel blocked here, that's the middle burner, we'll get onto that in a minute. Maybe this felt a little bit blocked and a bit up, that's the upper burner. We'll do that a little bit later. But at least we're now connecting with the lower burner and we're getting in touch with it. Okay, so we've got the lifting up, the yang aspect connecting with the heavens, but we've also got connecting down with the earth. It's time for kidney 1, everyone. Okay, I look forward to this moment every week. It's going to be one of the most important acupuncture points in the whole body, and the Wednesday class wouldn't be the same if we didn't make sure that we did a really good job with kidney 1. So let's just make sure we remember where it is. If you take this midline down the center of your foot, it's 1/3 of the distance. So you measure thirds all the way down. 1/3 of the distance is right there, okay? And I think the best way to stimulate myself is using doing. Doing is a percussion technique. It's a Japanese exercise technique. And so I really like to do this. It's one of my favorite things, opening up kidney 1 using percussion. We'll give it really good going over. Okay, and we can stretch open kidney 1 here. The reason this is so important is because it acts very strongly on the upper part of the body. So you might be thinking, okay, wait a minute, I'm feeling I'm feeling kind of like too heavy, too grounded. Maybe I should be working on up here. Well, we've released these channels already. But now what we need to do is just anchor our energy down into the earth, get that yin energy flowing up and giving that feeling of support. That will then connect, give us a feeling of connection with the heavens. And it's that lightness, that feeling of connected to the sky hook that's very important for mental health, because if that starts to get blocked and you feel like you've got this weight bearing down on you all the time, it's just not a very nice place to be, okay? So let's just keep working on this. Okay, you can see I'm now opening my foot up. These are several yang channels around here. You probably remember we've got the liver channel, we've got the stomach channel actually, we're going to get to later on as we work down through the stomach channel through points of the week. Okay, tapping my foot on the ground. Let's try the other one. Let's get this kidney one nice and activated. Okay, here we go. Just squeeze in there. Kidney one. There's also another very important reason for stimulating kidney one in terms of the breath, because it's this yin quality that allows us to have a calm, measured and deep breath into the lower dantian, which we'll find out in a minute when we connect kidney one up with the lower dantian and then anchor the breathing again with it. Okay, so let's just try this. We'll put my socks back on and get this out of the way. Get this lovely feeling we get pretty much every week here of getting that feeling of kidney one opening up and just bring our attention down into kidney one, really enjoying that feeling of connection with the earth. You notice now that it's effortless for us to feel our roots going down into the earth. And that's the yin aspect of it. From that strength coming up, we should be able to release the base of the cranium, float the head up and open up the upper part of the body. Even more importantly, we can now go back to here and energize the lower hara. We're going to do it with our intention this week. We're going to connect up kidney one with the lower dantian using our internal intention. I'll show you how to do that. One of the things we can do is breathe into the lower dantian as we're doing this exercise. And then as we breathe out, what I'd like us to do is direct our Qi down into kidney one, okay, as we breathe out. So here we go. Okay, now this is an alternative to using going to open up the channels. We're actually using our intention, directing the Qi down into kidney one. So let's do that another couple of times, breathing in and then breathing out, directing our mind and our intention down through the channels in the legs down into kidney one. Yeah, let's do it one more time, breathing in and breathing out. Okay, got that? Okay, so you get a nice feeling of connection between the lower dantian and the kidney one. And there's another variation of that, which is breathing up from kidney one into the lower dantian. And you can kind of make a circuit. Okay, so you're going to try that with me. So what we do is we breathe in, and as we breathe in, we imagine Qi coming up from the earth into the dantian and then flowing back down again as we breathe out. So we're almost like breathing through our feet here into the earth. Let's give it a try. Okay, so breathing in, opening up kidney one. Yeah, open the ankles and the knees, keep them really open. That's it, and feel the Qi going into the dantian and hold it there with the breath. Breathe out, relax your hips. That's it, and send the Qi down into kidney one again. And then you can imagine it going down deep into the earth. Excellent stuff. Let's do that a few more times. Breathing in through kidney one. Keeping the hips relaxed, keep the sacrum relaxed and open. Gather the Qi in the lower dantian. Keep the circling going. Hold it. And then breathing out. Send the Qi down through kidney one and deep into the earth. Okay, one more time. Let's get that Qi coming up right from the center of the earth, up through our kidney one now. Super power it. Okay, opening up kidney one, breathing in. Imagine you're drawing up the Qi all the way from the center of the earth into the dantian. Okay, and then breathing out. send it down. Right, okay, very good. Okay, so now just shake out a minute and let's do a quick check and see how our breathing has changed now. Right, so we're just going to relax. Okay, just relax. And now let's all take just a normal deep breath in. Whoa, okay, pretty different. Okay, breathing out. Okay, now if you've got a lot of difference from doing that exercise, it could be not so much that you've got blockages here in the yang channels, but it could be you need more grounding down into the earth, more yin energy and more solid energy in the lower dantian to root the breath down. Okay, now we had a few middle burner voters, and I'm a bit of a favourite of the middle burner myself. So what can happen is when we're trying to get the breath down here, it gets blocked around here, and this can be caused by the diaphragm stiffening up, which is a very common stress response. So it's always good to check out the middle burner and just see what's happening, and we can use some channels, down channels, to regulate that. So let's just check in first of all and just check the middle burner for any tension. We're going to slowly press from the center out like this. Okay, we have got the stomach, we have the liver here. Now this should feel really open, and it shouldn't feel sensitive or hard at all. It should feel soft and open and kind of flexible. And if it doesn't, it's time to do something about it, everyone. And even if it does feel pretty open, let's just consolidate that by working a little bit on the middle heater. Okay, so let's try our famous twisting exercise to start with. So we're going to suspend that head upwards. We're going to keep that kidney one really open. We're going to keep that really nice feeling of being poised between heaven and earth. Keep the hips fixed, and we're looking to left and right, and we are turning like this, focusing it on the middle burner. Very good. Okay, keep that middle burner nice and released. Very good. Just a few more. Again, if you feel really blocked, you can increase it and tap to the sides. Okay, very good. Okay. Okay, so now probably the best way to get this more released is to do some channel work on the liver and the gallbladder and the stomach and the spleen channel. Okay, so we've got point of the week. Last week was stomach one, and we're going to do another point of the week this week, which is going to be another stomach point. The stomach region goes all the way down, not surprisingly, through around the mouth, the throat, goes down through the front of the body, and it comes out into the middle burner, and it connects down into the feet. So why don't we do some tapping here, and we're going to start around the diaphragm, just tapping, keeping this as loose as we can, nice and easy, not that it's uncomfortable, just nice and easy. Okay, very good. And then the stomach channel actually runs down here, it runs down just either side of the navel on the abdominal muscles here. It comes down, and it comes down on the outside of the front of the leg. So it's the front on the outside, just along here, and tap with the loose fist or with the palms of the hands. Okay, and let's focus in on this middle burner and see if we can find anywhere down the stomach channel that feels like it does something, that feels like it's releasing that middle burner area. Well, we've got some really good points of the week coming up in the next few weeks. I'm just thinking of them right now. Go down into the feet, switch into spleen, which is the inside front of the leg. That's another middle burner channel, and in fact it comes up similar place around here into the middle burner. And down again. I'm going around 3 times, just checking out any connections we can feel with the stomach channel. Up the spleen channel. Yay, okay, good. One more. Down. Excellent. Very good. And then brushing off 3 times. And shaking out. Okay, very good. Have a quick press. Now, if it feels a lot easier now, that could indicate you need to work more on your stomach channel. But if it doesn't feel very different, it could be that you need the liver and the gallbladder channel, which is what we're going to do next. So let's just start tapping around the sides of the body. We're going to go down, we're going to go right into here. If you remember that from when we did the gallbladder point of the week, we've got this So right in the buttock here, and it goes down the outside of the legs, and up the inside. This is the liver channel here, goes up, right through, up through here, and then up into the sides of the body. This is much more on the sides than on the front. The stomach meridian's on the front, and the liver and gallbladder are on the sides of the body. So let's keep going. Again, focusing in on the middle burner. Let's keep that tapping going. The second run. Very good. And then we go down the outside. And the inside. Okay, very good. And we're going to just brush that off a few times. Okay, very good. So now let's just check in. We're going to just check in again and see if we've got any change. Now, if you've got more change with that exercise, there's a chance that the liver and gallbladder channels that need more work. So we can kind of use this as a self-analysis of which channels need to be worked. Okay, excellent. Okay, so now let's check in one more time and see where that breath's going to. So we're just going to stand nice and easily. And we're just going to take a normal deep breath, no forcing it or no directing it, just take a normal deep breath in. Nice, okay, very good. Now, if you felt a very big change there, that's probably, and you felt stiffness here, and you're a middle burner voter, it's almost certain that it's this obstruction in the middle burner that is stopping you getting your breath nice and low. Okay, so that's again more self-awareness there. And in fact, I think all of us probably felt it was easier to bring the breath down into there after that exercise. Okay, excellent. So now we go into the upper burner. Okay, very important. And as I think I mentioned last week, we're getting a lot of clients coming into Shiatsu Center now with a lot of obstruction around the channel, especially the heart protector channel here, because of the long-term emotional stress of the pandemic is taking its toll. And that can cause, again, obstruction in the breathing. So we really want to get this whole area as open as we can. And a good way of checking that is to check the heart protector or the pericardium meridian stretch. We do that by bringing our hands together like that, breathing in, breathing out, and then just simply stretching like this. But we do it with an awareness of connecting really deep into the chest. Okay, and you just want to check that out. Does that feel tight, blocked, or weak, or anything like that? Okay, and so let's just spend a little bit of time getting that channel open. It makes us feel a lot more light and a lot freer in the upper burner. Okay, so we're going to tap here on the top of the chest, and then down through into the heart protector, and then back up the triple heater channel, which runs up this way and onto the shoulder. Okay, so back here again. And what I like to do is I actually like to bring my knuckles here like this in between the ribs, so you can really get in between the ribs and give that channel a really good workout. Just nice and tapping. If it's uncomfortable, of course, just keep it nice and light. But if you've got obstruction here and it feels really tight, it's really good to get that moving. Okay, excellent. We go down into the palm, back, up here again, and then brush off. Okay, lovely. And the other side, same kind of idea. Just going to give it close up here. I'm going right here from the sternum, here across the chest. And the heart protector channel or the pericardium channel runs right through here and goes out through down the middle of the inside of the arm down to the palm. Okay, so here we go. Okay, once we've got that nice and loosened up, we're going to go down the inside of the arm and down into the palm, and then back up the triple heater channel, which is on the outside of the body, outside the arms. I know what you're thinking, isn't that the same as the gallbladder channels on the side of the body? Very good. Yes, the triple heater and the gallbladder channel are connected in Chinese medicine. Here we go. We'll go back up the triple heater on the outside of the body. And very good. Okay, brushing off. Bit of a shake. And now the test is to see whether we get more of an open feeling here. Should we do that together and see what happens? So we're breathing in, breathing out. Very good. Okay, feels a little bit easier, doesn't it? Okay, time to check in with the breathing. Ready? So just shake out a little bit. No forcing, no forcing, and no strong intention. Just a really easy, natural, big in breath. Ready? After 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, wow, that's pretty different. And if you felt a really big difference, then that could be because, and if you voted upper burner and you had quite your breath high and it felt different after that exercise, that could indicate that you need to do some more work this week, opening up the pericardium or the heart protector channel, just to get that release and get that energy down. Okay, excellent. So now we've just got to work on the lungs. So let's do this medical Qi Gong exercise for the lungs. Always worth doing. It's a nice easy exercise. We just bring the arms up like this to shoulder width and drop them back down. It's as simple as that. Okay, but it's what happens internally that matters. So let's get that kidney 1 connected to the earth. Really imagine that going down as deep as you can into the earth. We're bringing the thumbs out to open up the lung channel. Okay, we're becoming aware of our alignment. We're floating the head up, floating our sacrum down. Okay, and this is very important when we do this exercise, because what we actually do is we direct the breath down into the lower dantian. And there's, again, an important connection in Chinese medicine between the lungs and the kidney energy, or the lower dantian energy, which is the kidney's supposed to grasp the qi from the lungs. The lungs descend the qi down, and the kidney energy, which is in the lower dantian, grasp the qi. So let's feel a bit of that grasping going on. We're going to open up kidney 1, get that connection with the lower dantian. Let's really strengthen that up as much as we can. Keep those thumbs out. Okay, very good. So now, as we breathe out, we just want to relax as much as we can. And as we breathe in, let's just imagine that that lower burner is grasping the qi down, holding it down into the lower dantian. We can do that by focusing our awareness on the lower dantian. Even though we're opening up the lungs in the upper body, we're bringing that qi down into the lower dantian by focusing on it. Okay, so let's just keep doing that for a bit. Okay, excellent. Now, can you feel that's making you feel a lot calmer? And the reason for that is because regulating the nervous system with the breath is the easiest way that we can actually do that, access the parasympathetic nervous system. And the great thing about Chinese medicine is it gives us a really good metaphorical way of doing that, and very strong images that allow us to do that. So let's keep grasping that qi down into the lower dantian. Very good. Don't forget to relax your hips, your knees, and your feet. Don't forget to keep that kidney energy strong in the lower dantian and keep kidney 1 open. Very good. Okay, now just one other thing we're going to do with this exercise. We're going to keep those arms swinging, keep that lower dantian grasping that qi from the lungs. I'm going to add in another flavor, which is we're going to get that connection to the yang energy above us. Okay, and this is another very strong visualization, because the lungs take the qi from the air, just in the same way that the stomach brings qi up from the earth. The lungs bring qi in from the air. So what we're going to do is we are going to open up the base of our cranium here. We're going to float up that head. Okay, but don't forget the kidney 1 grounding though. Keep the lower part of the body grounded into the earth, so we don't float over this. Okay, keep that down. Keep that kidney energy, grasping the lungs, grasping the qi from the lungs. Okay, excellent. Keep going with it. Okay, so now keeping that grounding, keeping that descending function of the lungs. It's nice and stable now. Okay, that's really good. We're just going to allow the head to connect upwards. Okay, so I just want you to imagine that your head is floating up, but it's anchored down. The qi is anchored down into kidney 1, into the earth. Very good. Excellent. Okay, and what that does is that gives us a feeling of freedom and lightness, but not a kind of whoo-hey lightness. It's more of a balanced lightness and a feeling expression of upward energy that's balanced with the downward energy. Okay, that's fantastic work. Very good. So now let's just let our arms go down. I'm going to shake our arms, shake our hands and arms out. Okay, check in now. Okay, now if you're an upper burner person, let's see if this made a difference to your breathing. So we're going to go and stand again. Okay, keep nice and relaxed. Okay, and we're just going to take a natural deep breath in. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Okay, whoa, very different. Okay, and if you felt a big difference with this exercise, it could be that you need to work more on your lung qi. Okay, so what we've done is systematically worked through all of the burners, checked in to see which ones made the biggest difference to our breathing, just so we can find out how we can direct our energy and our exercising that we do every day before we meet again next Wednesday. Okay, great. So now it's time to address the yang channels in the head and neck, and also point of the week. So why don't we go straight into point of the week? It's going to be on the stomach channel. We did stomach 1 last week, so you can probably guess that it's going to be quite close to that. And in fact, here we are. This is Juliao stomach 3. I'll show you exactly where it is in a minute. It's below the cheekbone. In fact, I often use it in conjunction with stomach 2. So why don't we do that together? It's a great point for sinus problems. Probably that's the most common use we have in Shiatsu. If you get a lot of sinus congestion, you can use this point to it. But it's also used for twitching of the eyelid because it expels wind if you're into Chinese medicine. It can also be used for toothache in the upper jaw, facial paralysis. So we do use it when we're treating something like Bell's palsy, and basically any swelling that you have in the lips and the cheek. So it's a really good all-purpose point, and it's called Great Bone Hole in English. That's the translation. So it's quite a funny name. But let me just show you where it is and how to find it and how you can work it on yourself. So if you remember, stomach 1 is actually theoretically in the center of the eye. So we did this exercise last week of connecting with it with our hands. It's used, stomach 1 is really, it's used more, it's kind of, in acupuncture, it's used more just here, right underneath the eye, right above the orbital margin there. So if you can find that, go down from the center of your eye, just gently pressing above the orbital margin, it's very sensitive there, and then go down, you'll feel a kind of flat feeling here on the top of your cheekbone, going directly down from your eye. That's stomach 2. And then if you keep going down, you go over your cheekbones, you get into a great bone hollow or hole, great bone hole, which is here. And that is stomach 3. Okay, so it's quite medial, it's quite close into the nose, right underneath here. And what I usually do when I'm working with the shiatsu is I usually combine stomach 2 and 3 like this and work it like that. So we can do a little sinus routine if you like. We've got large intestine 20, which we'll do later on, which is either side of the nose. We've got all these stomach points here, including ones underneath here. So what I suggest we do is work around here, pinching here above and below, pinching around the cheekbones like this. And you'll feel it does clear the sinuses really effectively, especially when you get to here, stomach 2, just checking it on the video here. It's kind of there, that's it. And then stomach 3 is underneath here. Just give you a quick look at the picture again. There we are. It's directly under the pupil, right underneath. And there's a kind of sensitive spot that you'll feel right there. You can see also it goes down to stomach 4, just outside the mouth. And that's understandable, obviously, because the mouth is the start of the stomach channel. It's the start of the digestive process, and obviously the stomach channel itself is closely connected with the digestive tract. Okay, so let's just do a bit of self shiatsu again around here, all the way underneath the cheekbones. Oh, my nose is really clearing out now. Okay, how does that feel? And then we can work around the jaw. Again, the stomach channel has another channel that runs around the lower jaw. And we can work around the upper jaw as well, just pressing in using self shiatsu. Don't forget the jaw, the actual joint there, pressing in, wiggling my jaw about and releasing that. Okay, brilliant. That feels better. Okay, so now let's work on the upper part of the, let's work some other points for the eyes. We've got bladder 1 here that we've done previously. And then we've got these points around the eye, triple heater and gallbladder points around the eye here. So we can do basically as kind of like a self shiatsu technique right around the orbit of the eye here. And then rubbing our hands together, just gently pressing into the eyeballs, relaxing the eyeballs. And what we can do is move our eyes up and down, left and right, gently pressing in with the fingertips, just generally giving nice relaxing pressure, gentle pressure to the eyeballs. Okay, excellent. Right, brilliant. So now let's do the bladder channel. We're going to work up and over the top of the bladder channel. And this channel goes all the way down, right the way down to the little toe. So it's one of the longest channels in the body. Goes all the way down the whole back. Okay, so that's the bladder channel. Then we have the gallbladder channel on the sides of the head. Got the right haircut for this, you notice. There's no resistance at all to the gallbladder channel, all the way down and into the base of the neck there. Okay, we can also just rub off, stroke down, wiping the eyes, wiping. Okay, I'm just going to work on the ears here. We're just going to work down. There's a whole system of ear acupuncture. The idea is that the ear represents the whole body. So we're going to just work the whole ear, just stretching out, pressing out and pulling down. There we are. Okay, how does that feel? Okay, awake? Yeah, excellent. Okay, good. So that's the head. Now it's time to work on the neck, which is very obviously a place where we get a lot of tension building up. Hopefully the shaking out and a lot of the other stuff we've done today already would have helped that. But just in case there's any lurking tension in the neck, we're going to work down here. We've got bladder 10. Let's remind ourselves of some very important points. Celestial pillar. This is the really important point that connects the whole of the back. And if we press in here gently in with the thumbs and relax our spine, we should be able to feel a connection all the way down into the lower back and the right way down the lower back and into the sacrum, and then you know you've got it. The angle is this way, okay? It's not up or anything like that. It's this way. Okay, and we can squeeze with the heels of the hand, or we can tap the bladder channel, whatever you prefer. And then we have the gallbladder channel. Remember this one, gallbladder 20, is a really good point for the eyes. This one is the direction is up towards the opposite eye. So we can tip the head back slightly, just gently press in. Imagine space around the base of the cranium. Lift your head up and relax and open the base of the cranium and then pressing down. Excellent. Very good. So we better not forget the stomach channel. The stomach channel runs along the front of the SCM muscle, and so it comes down here, and it goes down here into the front of the neck, right here. And this is the way I like to do it. I like to get hold of the whole neck like this, and press in. The stomach channel is just right along the front of this muscle here. Okay, the front of the SCM muscle. Just be careful of the throat there as you do this. Okay, good. So that's the head and neck. Great, so now these are the yang channels that run down through the head and neck, and they then go onto the shoulders, they go down the back, all the way down to the feet. So it's a really good idea to follow that down and kind of move it out through the fingers and through the toes. So let's do that. I'm going to stand up again, I think, for this, so we can get a good movement. So we're going to go back to the triple heater channel. Remember that one? We did this as part of the pericardium loop. But this time we're doing it in a different way. We're doing it down the yang channels of the arm and out down through the hands. And the reason for this is because there's a tendency to get obstruction around the neck in the yang channels, and that we need to basically squeeze that out and work it out through the points of the hands and through the channels that run down through the arms. Okay, so let's do that. Do both sides. Starting up on the shoulder, working down into the hands. So do that 3 times. Excellent stuff, okay? And then okay, a bit of shaking, I think, don't you? Let's get that jaw relaxed. And we're going to just shake down right down to the hands. Okay, very good. So the other place we need to do is get down through those yang channels in the back, all the way down. And we just do as much as we can here, unless you've got a friend who's working with you. If you're working with a friend, that's great. You can do each other's backs. It's always a great thing. Otherwise, we just have to go down as far as we can. See if we can meet your hands together. And then we go like this, and we work down as far up as we can. Look, we can go up high. And we work down onto the sacrum and down the back of the legs, down the bladder channel. Okay, good. So as high as you can. Go up as high as you can. And then down into the feet. Okay, very good. Let's just jump up and down a few times and really shake all that yang, any yang energy that's got obstruction in the head, and shake it down to the hands and feet. Okay, excellent. Brilliant. So let's put it all together with doing some Tai Chi style breathing exercises. And these are designed to do 2 things. They're designed to consolidate the work we've done with that up and down thing, yin and yang thing, and also consolidate the work we've done with the breathing, because a lot of Tai Chi is based on yin yang connection and on the breathing. So let's do it. We're going to put our feet shoulder width apart. We're going to stand. And let's just do a quick check of our breathing. So without directing the breath in any way, let's all take a deep breath in. After 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, what a change. Okay, and again, if you felt a really big change after all that work we did on the yang channels, it's a good chance that it's probably some yang channel thing that's obstructing it. But the chances are, like me, you've just felt the breath getting deeper and deeper incrementally all through the whole hour that we spent together, which is, of course, absolutely awesome. So we've got that nice natural lower breathing. We're going to open up that kidney 1. We're going to get that visualization down as far as we can. That gives us stability. We connect down into the earth. We're going to soften the hips. We're going to get the head floating up, and we're going to open up that armpit by imagining that egg underneath the armpit. Okay, very good. Okay, we're going to do this exercise here, this Tai Chi opening exercise. I'm going to do it in various different ways. So let's just practice the basic form, which is basically sinking down. We sink the whole spine down, and we allow the arms to float up. We then breathe out by bringing the body up. Okay, so it's very important that the body moves first, not the hands. And it's the same with all Tai Chi movements. The center moves and the hands express the movement from the center. You don't wave your arms around like this. Okay, so let's try it. Don't move your arms until we move the spine. Ready? Okay, so the spine sinks down and the arms float up. That's it. Brilliant. Breathing in, And the body moves first, breathing out. Okay, very good. Let's just do two more of those, just sinking the spine down, breathing out and breathing in. Breathing in and breathing out. Got it? Okay, excellent. So now let's emphasize the yang and then the yin and put it together. Okay, so we're going to connect with the earth. We're going to feel heaviness in our body. We're going to bring our connection with the earth in as we move. Feel connection with the earth. And we get to here, we push up as if we're really heavy from the floor. Got it? Okay, opening up kidney 1, breathing in. Connecting with the earth. Pushing up. Sinking down really heavy. Pushing up. Very good. Okay, now let's do the opposite. We're going to feel really light in the body. Connect up from the head. And we're going to sink down from the top of the head. Very light. And we're going to float up really light from the top of the head. Excellent. Okay, and again. Floating down, floating up, floating down, floating up. Okay, got the idea? So now we're going to combine it and we're going to put the yin and the yang together in the final exercise. So here we go. Breathing in, feel heavy. Breathing out, float up. Breathing in, feel heavy. Breathing out, float up. Release the base of the cranium. That's it. Very good. And breathe in. And breathe out. Okay, excellent. So let's do some testing. Okay, we're just going to stand and just check out to see whether you feel too heavy or too light. Hopefully, we're going to feel nice and balanced between the two. Let's take that one last deep breath in after 3. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. And breathe out. Okay. Very different from an hour ago. And now let's just scan down through our whole body scan. We're going to go down through the head and neck. Through the shoulders. Through the upper heater. And the middle and the lower heater, and then down through the hips and into the feet. Okay, so just get a feeling of our whole energy field, how we felt an hour ago when we started the class. And let's just check in and see how you're feeling now. So let's go. There we are. Really good results. Well done. Okay, I'm going to run the poll, just find out the whole group. How do you feel now? Share now. Let's have a look, see how we're doing. See if we got anyone with a reaction this week. Always possible, especially when we do a lot of movement of the yang energy. Okay, if you feel about the same, I recommend you just figure out which of those particular exercises were the most effective and practice it for the rest of the week. And we'll see you back next week. Okay, I'm glad to see that Maddie's feeling really balanced. Great to see Jacqueline. Yeah, great. Gillian, Jacqueline always likes to shaking, so I did quite a bit of shaking this week. Fantastic. Lots and lots of familiar names and faces there. Fantastic. Okay, really enjoyed it. I love these Wednesday classes. And I'll see you back next for another point of the week. And believe it or not, we're getting towards the end of the earth element. We'll be into our final element of our 5-element cycle. We're getting into the point now where we've been through a whole year of Wednesday classes. So can you believe that? It's absolutely incredible, isn't it? And it's been really great to share it with you every week. Okay, I'm going to put a heart in the chat here for everyone. And yeah, see you next week. And thanks, Basti, for all your work on the chat. I can see it's been really active. Just flick through it all. My goodness, it's been busy. Okay, great. See you next week.